After a loan paydown, what should the new payment actually be based on? It sounds simple, but in the real world, this question causes a surprising amount of confusion between borrowers, bankers, underwriting teams, and loan servicing. Today, I'm going to walk through a real-world scenario, show you where people get tripped up, and explain the correct way to think about payment amounts after a paydown. Let's start with the simple timeline. In November, a partial release closes, and the borrower makes a principal paydown. In December, the borrower still owes their regularly scheduled monthly payment. And in January, the loan is supposed to start a new re-amortized payment. This exact timing is where the confusion begins. Everyone agrees that the loan balance drops in November because of the paydown. But the question becomes, should the new January payment be based on the balance immediately after the November paydown? Or is it based on the balance after the December payment is made? Both balances exist, but they are not interchangeable. Here's what that looks like numerically. First, let's make some assumptions about our loan. The original loan amount was $1 million. The amortization was for 25 years, and the interest rate was at 6%. That produces a payment amount of $6,444 per month. Also, there's a $250,000 pay down in the 11th month due to a partial release of collateral. The new payment amount is recalculated based on the remaining balance, the original interest rate in the note, and using the remaining amortization. Also, the new payment amount will start in the second month after the paydown. So, since this paydown occurs in November, the new payment won't start until January. The borrower will still owe a December payment and will be that original principal and interest payment of $6,444. After the paydown in the 11th month, let's call it November, the loan balance might be $733,712.88. And if we incorrectly used this figure to calculate the new payment, it would produce a payment of $4,813. However, if the paydown is applied after the December payment, the balance would be $732,187.45, which would produce a new mortgage payment of $4,803. In this scenario, that's a difference in mortgage payment of $10, and that difference matters. Calculating the wrong mortgage payment creates downstream problems. A very common assumption is this. We already did the paydown in November, so let's base the new payment on that balance. And if the borrower makes a December payment, servicing can just figure it out. From an underwriting perspective, that feels logical. But here's the problem. Once the December payment is made, servicing is required to apply it. Interest is applied first, then principal. That principal reduction is real. Servicing cannot ignore it. They can't refund it. They can't add principal back later just to make the math work. Once that payment posts, the loan balance has permanently changed. Here's the rule that actually works in practice. If a scheduled payment occurs before the new payment starts, the new payment must be based on the balance after that payment, not before it. This isn't theory. This is operational reality. Now, a quick but important distinction. When underwriting tests loan to value for a partial release, that test happens at the time of the release. It uses the balance after the paydown. But payment amortization is different. Payment amounts are about what balance actually exists when the new payment begins. Mixing these two concepts is how the errors happen. Here's how lenders avoid this problem altogether. Some of them collect the next scheduled payment at the time of the paydown closing. That removes uncertainty. Everyone knows the exact balance. The payment can be recalculated cleanly, and servicing, underwriting, and the borrower all stay aligned. So the takeaway is simple. Payment timing matters, servicing rules are rigid, and the balance used for a new payment must match the date the payment actually starts. Get that right and everything works. Get it wrong and you're fixing it after the fact. If you're a commercial borrower, a commercial mortgage banker, or a lender dealing with paydowns and loan modifications, this detail matters more than most people realize, and it's an easy one to miss. If you want more real-world commercial finance breakdowns like this, subscribe. This is the kind of stuff that doesn't get taught, but shows up all the time in practice.